It's been 20 years since 9/11 forever changed the world, and 20 years since a cross-country flight forever changed the lives of Oregonians and New Yorkers.
You know, they turned on the rain for us.
Just weeks after the 2001 terror attack, leaders in Oregon announced the Flight for Freedom. This is archive news coverage from KGW.
In true pioneer spirit, these Oregonians will journey back east to Manhattan as a way to encourage Americans to return to their normal lives.
It was a symbolic flight from the Beaver State to the Empire State, encouraging people to fly again and help revitalize New York's economy.
Let's make sure New Yorkers get the message that the rest of the country is with them, not just because we say so, but because we're doing something about it.
Joe DeZono helped organize the trip.
A small idea became a big idea.
At the time, he ran Ozumano Travel Service,
There I am right there.
which saw business plummet in the weeks after 9/11.
Down 100%. Nobody's flying. You couldn't go anywhere.
We recently showed him this old video of the trip,
Pretty amazing turnout of people.
and he still vividly remembers his first moments at Ground Zero.
New York was still smoldering when we got there. The ground zero was still, people were still looking for bodies.
In all, there were 62 flights as part of the Flight for Freedom, bringing 1,000 Oregonians to New York.
We love New York! This is the greatest moment of my life. It is so great to be an Oregonian right now.
The delegation met with firefighters and even marched in the Columbus Day Parade.
I'm not sure warm is even the word for it. It's just phenomenal.
It was a time New Yorkers needed support more than ever.
It's wonderful to see that another state came to support us.
And Oregonians gave it to them.
I'm glad you guys are here to help us.
What they called the core group.
Oregonians like Sally Borey,
At the time, I was a freelance writer.
who says the Flight for Freedom was a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
20 years later, like many people on the trip, it was one of the most moving milestones of my life.
The trip was so impactful, Borey has now written a book about it. It's called Oregon Loves New York, a story of American unity after 9/11.
Knowing now that I've been able to leave this for people to always know about an important event in history.
Some 700 pages are filled with personal stories and photographs from the trip.
There's the story of this street sweeper coming up to one of the guys and saying, "Thank you for coming." Because we had those t-shirts and these buttons, everybody recognized us. They would ask for hugs, they'd give you hugs, they'd cry, they'd tell you their 9/11 stories.
Now, 20 years later,
That's hard to believe.
the people featured in Borey's book might look a little different,
He looks a lot younger than he does now.
but the message behind their story is timeless. We need to come together just like we did in 2001.
1,000 Oregonians from all walks of life, the entire political spectrum, showed up for this. And nobody asked, what's your politics? Nobody asked, what's your status in life?
A lesson Borey hopes we can learn from 2 decades later.
It's something that's extremely important for today, where we live in such a divided country right now.
Do you hope we can get some sense of that unity back?
Absolutely. And I do think it's possible. This is a true story that shows that it is possible.